Okay, welcome to another episode of Spilling the Tea. I am one of your co-hosts, Chris Snyder, from CJL Counseling and Associates. And as always, I have my lovely co-host, Kanice, with me.
Hi, everybody.
We are here to bring you Betrayal Part 2. Before we get into that, I always kind of want to just give a little recap of our week and kind of see and check in about what's going on. Um, it would be remiss of me not to, of course, talk about the highlights right now in Minnesota, and then you got Amy in New York.
Black men, we love you.
We love you, black men. Black men, we love you. And I raised a son, and yeah, my everything that in me that can feel goes out to every person who watched that man pass, to the families, to us. Power to the people in Minnesota too. Like, I ain't mad. I actually went into Target today.
He's gonna send it up.
I was ready, but no, I got me a couple. I got a new iron and I don't know. Oh, and a fan. I'm like, what did I go in Target and get? I got some basics. Oh, and I got me my little shirts. Cause every time it's time for Pride, I ain't never ready. So, I gotta represent my people. So, I got me a little Pride shirt. I got a few Pride shirts. Target got a really nice display
They do.
of Pride things. Johnson and Johnson had even a better product display of Pride stuff. I was like, okay, I see you, Target. But I definitely had a moment where I was like, I'm in the Target. Okay, but should I not? But anyway, so yeah, how was your week otherwise though?
My week was good up until Tuesday
Okay.
when my daughter decided she wanted to pass out.
Oh no, what happened?
Like, baby completely, just face planted. Um, Scared the living daylights out of me. But when I took her to the doctor, the doctor did an electro something on her heart to make sure that her heart was good. Did a CAT scan on her to make sure that nothing was going on in her head. Everything checked out fine. So the doctor is just thinking that maybe she ended up hurting her knee while we were doing something, and so when she bent over to comfort her knee, and the doctor thinks that maybe she stood up too quickly, because after she bent over to comfort the knee and she stood up, I turned and she went face planted. So,
Oh.
but they're just thinking that she may have stood up too quickly, and something about blood pressure can change in that moment. So once we got home and I realized that she was okay, now you gotta die. Like, you don't get
For sure.
You scare me like that.
For
So
sure.
now that I know you okay, now you gotta die. But she's okay. She's been okay the last couple of days. She's saying that her nose hurts.
For sure, she face planted.
Yeah, absolutely. But otherwise, she's okay.
Oh no. Okay. My poor baby.
Yeah, she gave us a really good scare.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. How about you? How was your week?
I won't lie, I struggled. Hearing the news about George Floyd was, I think, as a mom of a son, was just more than I think my heart could bear. I watched the video. It was porn trauma, and I probably shouldn't have watched it, and my spirit wasn't ready for it. So I struggled, and I think I still struggle. And I would love to go down to, or drive up rather, to Minnesota with all my ARs, because if you know me, you know I got all the guns in my house and in my cars, and I'm ready for the zombie apocalypse. But I would love to go stand somewhere with them, because legally, and you not move me from the spot I'm in. But while I watch some things burn up. But Yeah, so it
Yeah.
was a struggle. That I really think I struggled this week. I won't pretend I didn't. I can compartmentalize and move it forward, but it definitely was a struggle for me.
Yeah, and our black men have to really know their rights, and it's a difficult situation to
They
be
know
in
them rights. They
when,
don't think they matter.
yeah, when you're an enemy just because of the color of your skin.
Yeah,
But we do love you, black men. We really do.
that part for
Hmm.
sure. So we are here though. Let's bring this up a little bit, even though the topic is actually really heavy as a woman. We are here to talk about betrayal in friendships, which of course I think happen in men and women, but um, definitely uh, just a heavy topic. I was doing some research and I had found a study that showed that 68% who were questioned reported having been betrayed by a friend at some point in their life.
Yeah.
Um, and I actually, literally, just randomly, I had talked to four different friends this week. It's a very small number, but I'm like, hey, you ever been betrayed by like one of your girlfriends? And every single one of them said yes. Every single one. And I get it's four people. Four ain't, we ain't talking statistically like anything. However, if every single one said it, the likelihood is it's a pretty big number.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it just this topic is real. I can say, even though we're gonna argue it later, we're gonna have a small argument, y'all, about what I think I was betrayed. Kanice gonna tell me that I simply was disappointed. But we gonna get there and we'll let y'all decide kind of what happened for me. So, but we are definitely talking betrayal, kind of what it looks like, and betrayal overall, I think can look like the same in men and women, unless maybe you got some different ideas. But basically, we talking about old girl, your girlfriend cheated with your guy.
Hmm.
You gave her a secret. She
Hmm.
went and told your secret.
Yeah.
Overall lying, talking behind your back. Is there anything else that
You said the gossip piece.
gossip for sure?
You said the lying piece. Stealing is coming up. When they steal something from you or they
Mm.
take something from you.
Mm.
Something that you probably would have just given them anyway, had
Yeah,
they just asked.
I can see that. That's
Hmm.
betrayal for sure.
Yeah. Or you were counting on them to, okay, now that I'm saying it this way,
what?
you
What's
were
that?
counting on
Say it,
them to
girl.
come through,
And they did.
and they did.
Oh, okay. So maybe we not gonna argue about betrayal today. We gonna see. We gonna still tell y'all what happened because I definitely got a story. So
Hmm.
yeah, she betrayed me for sure. Anyway, okay. So we talking about lied to. So I guess the question is kind of why, like,
Hmm.
and it's always you kind of hear that thing about like women go, I don't got no female friends.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
mess with. I got more male friends than I do female friends,
Hmm.
cause
And that bothers me when I hear females say that. Like you are a woman, so how you don't fool with what you are?
yeah,
Because if we boil it down,
that must be you.
birds of a feather flock together.
Got to be you.
So you got to look at the energies that you're putting out there and what you calling towards you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah and no. So
Hmm.
because betrayal, it ain't like I don't think betrayal is something. So there are a lot of characteristics I think we see naturally in people. Like I might tell my girl is like messy,
Okay.
like in the sense of maybe she don't clean a lot,
Hmm.
or I might tell my girl is always late. Like
Hmm.
you can certain yeah, certain characteristics in your friendships you can see. I am not a late person. I am likely early.
Hmm.
So like you raise your hand. You are late. We are close friends outside of work.
Hmm.
So just because you late, I'm not a late person. So we flock together. But so certain
Hmm.
characteristics don't
Hmm.
necessarily like transmit over, and you don't. They don't have to cross over and become a thing for you. But betrayal, when it happens, it's almost kind of in a lot of friends like a one and done scenario.
Hmm.
In a lot, like we're gonna kind of look at have betrayal and maintain the friendship.
Okay.
Um, we also gonna look like just if friendship should end, because
Okay.
again, my story is I left the friendship.
Mhm.
Like I felt betrayed, and I left. No conversation. I'm good. I ain't mad at you. I'm just gonna walk away though.
Mhm.
So we gonna look at kind of some of the steps I think of how we move through it, but I definitely want us to play for a second in the why do women
Mhm.
like betray? Like what is it? Like even take like telling a secret. Let's take something as simple as telling your secret.
Okay.
Like for why? Like
And I think that's that envy piece. So you have to be careful of whether or not you got a friend that's envious of you. And if she wants to do something to try to pour salt on your success, maybe you got a lot of stuff going on. And now she want to pour salt on your success. Well, girl, uh, although she's saying that's his baby, that really ain't his baby. She want to try to
shit.
pour some salt on some success.
That's an ass whooping.
It is a whole one. Mhm.
But why? I don't. I still don't think we're getting to this
Cause it
idea
makes me
of.
look better.
Mm,
So you can't shine. No.
do you look better though?
Well, I'm shining, and I don't want you to outshine me.
Mm. I think that go back to what we talked about a couple weeks ago, just with the Molly stuff.
Yeah.
This literally kind of hits back to self, I think, or
Mhm.
accountability, or just the idea of if you aren't comfortable with who you are, then
Mhm.
the only option is to hurt someone else.
Mhm.
Because I was thinking, like, even when I think when we women, when we are betrayed, I don't ever think it's personal. Like,
No.
the woman that I think betrayed me, I think it was more her shit than mine. I think
Okay.
whatever was happening about her, even though it affected me, I don't think it was about me.
Mhm.
I think it belonged to her.
Okay.
So whether the reasons of not being able to be vulnerable, or
Mhm.
worrying about being embarrassed, or not wanting, like you said, a different example of not wanting somebody to shine. That's not mine. That's her stuff.
Okay.
We am the product of
Mhm.
kind of the stuff that's being displayed. But it's not really my stuff. And it's
Mhm.
not personal. I just am, it just come out my way.
Mhm. We also have to consider that it's only betrayal when you have a deep admiration for that person.
Yeah.
Because if somebody else would have done the same exact thing that this particular former friend of yours did, you wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
But because you had an admiration for her,
For sure.
that's why you felt the way that you did. So,
But that's the only way betrayal can exist. Betrayal will
mhm,
never come from an enemy. Like,
mhm,
you,
it's always those that's closest to you.
and that's crazy. Like, the closest people are the ones that hurt you. Like, to this day,
Mhm,
like, I'll never get that the people that make us sad are the people that we most care for.
mhm,
Um, and I don't know, I mean, and it's funny because I want to kind of get into some of the steps about, okay, so somebody betrayed you, your boo cheated with your man, and, like, and how do we go forward? But I kind of maybe even want to take us first to what happened with my girl, because I actually didn't do some of the steps I even gonna recommend. It's amazing when therapists never follow the script. Like, we never follow the
Okay.
script.
I'm ready if you are.
Okay, yeah, so here we go. So I had this friend, easily I'm gonna say a decade. I can go with a decade.
Mhm,
Nina's, yeah, I'm gonna say a decade. We met under the idea that she had known that my daughter had went through a particular type of program, and she wanted her daughter to go through the same program. And
mhm,
so we kind of had a similar way of she reached out for that regard, like, hey, can you help me? I know
mhm,
you have some information. Me wanting to always move women forward when I will give you everything I know. Like, here it is. This is what I know. This is what you got to do. A, B, C, D through Z. So that right there kind of began our bond.
Okay.
So we ended up hanging out more. We ended up talking more, always talking about the kids because our kids was literally, her kid is 2 or 3 years younger than my daughter, but they are literally in the same path. Like they have the same track of life, of success in terms of just academics, interests. It's a go-getter attitude, kind of responsible, like invested, kind of just, and then also, if you all know, me and my daughters have a really close relationship. Like we are thick as thieves. Like it's like a thing. Her and her daughter also were, they're exactly the same. So we had a lot of similarities in us in terms of just the family dynamic stuff. So it definitely connected us in that way. So over the years, of course, and we had a few other common scenarios. Particular group we belong to, we both we could talk about sexual stuff because she definitely had a more exploratory attitude when it came to her and her husband, and so she would come to me for advice. And everyone know I do a lot of sex work. That sounded really like
those of us
prostitute-ish.
that know you know where that goes.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, anyway, I do a lot of sex work, and so she was definitely, one thing I admire about her is she had a true desire to please her husband and like keep their relationship like really spicy and good. And so we was always talking around like how to do that. So in that regard, she was super vulnerable with me, super honest, and like she gave a lot in relation to the good and the bad to kind of always keep them on track. And I do couples work, so that kind of was a thing for us. So in that regard, so years are going on. A lot of time has passed, and I feel, I can only speak for me, that I supported her as different things come up. Promotions at work, moving through her company, certifications. At one point, her mom was really sick, and so trying to be as invested as I could in that regard. There was even one point when her mom was sick. I didn't even know, actually, at first, that she was like, hey, did you know my mom was? I'm like, no, because she was like, you didn't call me about it. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know she was sick. But from the moment I knew, I was like on it, like I was all in. Okay, so that happened. There was some issues, and like she had a couple relationship issues, and I felt like I was supportive and like all in for there and then, but it always, everything that was going on with her daughter, I felt like I was super supportive in. Like her daughter was like mine. Like anything that little girl needed, like again, because her and my kids had a similar world, I was there. And so I felt like everything related to her life, I was purely invested in all the time. Then there is the reverse. I felt like on the reverse end, every time I needed her, she was never there. Like, never. Like, it was always an excuse. Like, they would be good excuses, or reasons, whatever the word. I don't want to say it was an excuse, but a reason why she wasn't present. So I always kind of ignored them for what they were. But if you know me, you know I had a really big, my 40th happened in March, right before COVID. Ooh, thank God it was right before COVID. So I had a really big party. Like, I went like all out. Like, if y'all know about the party, it was stupid and big and crazy. And I expected. She even helped me pick the ticket price a year before the party for the ticket. So every aspect of it, she was included in. You was one of the people included in. My core group of friends were involved a year before my party even happened. So come time to my party, and is getting towards the end of when you can purchase tickets, and because I had to give a final count to the vendors,
Okay.
and this girl said, whew, getting hot. This girl said, I can't come to your party because I need to have money for another party a few months later. I don't want to say what the party is,
Mm-hmm.
but she had another party. Let me see, March, April, May, June. Yep, 3 months. So she couldn't come to my party. Let me be clear: the ticket for my party was not that much, and if you know me, I'll give you my last dime. But she couldn't come to my, and she said it's not about money. I also want to say she said that right. She said it's not about money.
She did.
She said I can't come to your party because I definitely gotta be at this other party with people I don't even know. Other party.
Okay.
Party got canceled. Anyway,
That's so petty.
when that party got canceled, baby, I chuckled to myself.
That's so petty.
Anyway, so
I'm gonna let you get it all out.
let me get it all out.
All
So and she had the nerve to tell me not to take it personal. You didn't miss everything. I could name literally 10 events that you ain't been at because I didn't got a lot of good reasons. But this event, this thing right here that was so important to me, like it was the only thing I think y'all heard me talk about for a whole year was this party. Like everything, and it wasn't just a party. Like I said, like it was like just a different way. Like my thinking was changing, things I wanted to do in my life. Like turning 40 was like crossing over into like this other world, and like I wanted to bring particular people with me in that space, and it I cared about this, that you all, that my particular core group. It mattered to me. Like I couldn't imagine not having one of you guys there. Like it just, I would have moved heaven and earth to make sure if there was an issue, tell me the issue and I'm gonna fix it. I'm buying the outfits. I'm doing anything, whatever it is needed. Babysitters. Michelle Obama might be babysitting your kid. Like I am going to move heaven and earth to bring you guys with me to this party. For you to tell me out your mouth because of another party, you gotta save you gotta have some money for the other party. Cool. Clearly, to me, I'm not your friend. Because I done heard multiple 3,486 excuses about other events and other things you could never be at. But yet I do see you at some other things. I ain't even gonna bring up these other things I be seeing you at. But somehow when it comes to something I'm inviting you to, it's some busy something, a card or something, there's something. And so now here we are. The most important thing, you told me it's another to me. So at this point I felt betrayed.
Okay.
I felt like I needed you and you was not there for me. And you knew how important this was to me. And it showed me I had two options. I could, if I can't, I always feel like if you're going to have a problem, you also need a solution.
Okay.
So I can't just sit here and be mad and if I have no way to fix it. Like then I'm just mad for nothing. So I had two options. One, I just not get mad and just accept it. Like it is what it is and she gonna just do that thing. Or two, well, I could say something, but I didn't see it. She was clear, like she reiterated her position because I think I had said something like, how do I not take this serious or not take it personal when you telling me people you don't know party more important than the party of one of your best friends. What the hell? And she had reiterated her position. Okay, cool. That means my option is you shit or get off the pot. It's time for me to get off. There is no, because we're going to go through steps to meet of how to fix betrayal. But in this regard, and I feel like one of my steps that I'm going to go through with our audience is fix or leave.
Okay.
And this was a leave scenario. Like I had no option but to leave the relationship, because there would, I said it, I think, last week. My relationships, or a couple weeks about Molly, my friendships mean the world to me, and I am all in them. If you not in my mind all in with me, then I don't, to me, we not really friends. And I don't know how to half-ass or put you in a category or put you in a box. So I'm going to just remove myself. And I can't even be mad at you because it's not personal. Your behaviors had nothing probably to do with me. You just can't be a good friend to me. And that's cool. I'll remove myself. Y'all thought I was dead wrong. I, however, think that was the only option in betrayal. Like I have, like all of the other little small disappointments existed, and to me, this was betrayal, and it was time for me to remove my. Like I I didn't, yeah, because I felt like if I stayed, I would never trust you.
Okay.
And if I can't trust you, then what am I here for? Like I looked when I tried to play out the solutions, like take this forward, it had nowhere to go. I'm not going to invite you because I'm not going to even let you tell me no. And if I'm not telling you no, then you're not even really hearing about my life. And if you're not hearing about my life, I ain't asking about your life. And if I ain't asking about your life and I ain't inviting you nowhere, well, we ain't friends. I can see you on Facebook.
Touche.
So the friendship ends. But you guys say that is. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, Kenise, I'm going to let you have a side.
I'm not even going to have a side, because in having a side, then that means that I'm having to reduce your feelings, and I don't want to reduce your feelings. That's how you feel. I also don't want to put you in a position where you have to defend your feelings. This is how you feel about this young lady. So I will ask you this, because a lot of what I'm hearing you say that you felt like you were pouring into pretty much an empty vessel.
Yes.
You're pouring into something that's not pouring back into you.
For sure.
Did you communicate that to her?
Yes.
So you told her that you feel like she's abandoning you.
I've questioned how she always is never available. I have asked her that.
Okay.
So no, then I'm gonna say no. I did not directly have like a direct conversation and go, hey, why are you never available to me? Every time something came up, I would kind of be petty a little bit and go, oh, you're not coming? Of course you're not coming.
And put your tally mark.
Tally mark. Oh, you're not coming again? Oh, okay. Are you busy? Oh, or I wouldn't even do it at the beginning when she would say she couldn't come. It would be like after the fact. She'll say something like, oh, I knew you weren't coming. Because it was just, I'm watching like, it was almost expected. Like, you're not there for me. And I kept ignoring it because I still stayed present to her. Like, even though I definitely, for sure, because my pettiness was kicking up. Because y'all was tell y'all about my friends. They don't have no problem checking a person. Quick, G, that tally mark right there that you was in
tripping.
a second. I'm they, my friends will call me on. Listen.
And see, my issue,
so far.
my issue with it was that I didn't feel like you were being fair to her, because I'm not certain that you told her your expectations of what a friendship means to you. So if you didn't tell her what you expect from her and what friendship means to you, then she wasn't aware that what she was doing is a form of betrayal.
How old are we?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to teach people how to treat you. And what may be acceptable for her with another friend might not be acceptable for you. So if she's treating you how she's treating them other people, but that's not what you need, you have to be able to communicate that to her. You can't expect her to know that.
I feel like she knew that when she said, Chrissy, don't do the personal thing you do. She knew. Come on, be fair
She
here.
knew what your response was going to
And
be.
why did she know she knew then I would be disappointed. Why? Because I have spoke to my disappointment, and the fact she knew that means she's familiar with the number of disappointments I've experienced from her.
But did you make it clear to her?
Now we being playing with semantics. If you know I'm disappointed, then you know this is not something I like as a friend. I shouldn't even have to like.
But see, we got to be careful with that. I shouldn't have to. We got to be careful with that. Because you can assume that I know.
Gee, that's like me saying I should know not to sleep with your man.
Well, no, that's common sense now.
Why?
That's
No.
common sense.
I gotta define. If we define in all of these
Well,
things
well,
that make
well,
a friend.
well. Wait now, because you are a part of a particular type of lifestyle.
Yes, I am.
So
very
that
much
might be
poly.
okay with you.
Come on now. Oh,
Uh-huh.
unless I say.
Uh-huh.
Unless
Give
there
me
is
your
no
rules.
way. No. Well, us over here, lifestyle people, which I'm gonna represent for a second, and go. Our communication game is kind of off the chain.
Yeah.
So
What's that word again?
communication, but that means you know me. That means I am very vocal in how I move. Like I speak to it very clearly. That means I also then have spoke to my disappointments when you have not been there for me. So if you know I'm disappointed, because she's smart. She ain't stupid. Like, this girl is very bright. I don't like stupid people. Like, and I don't got stupid friends. She's pretty smart. So that means the opposite of disappointment would be satisfaction. And satisfaction would be being there for me. She know that. Because she know I'm disappointed. So she knows then what makes me happy.
Which, in my opinion, is why she tried to give you, because she gave you a whole big blurb.
About her going to the other party? Because that's what the blurb was about. The whole blurb was about her. The whole blurb was about her going to the other party. And for me, not take personal. Chris, don't take it personal that I'm going to the other party. The other party is really important because I ain't never been to this other party before, and I want to take my daughter to the party, and we should go to the party, and the party only come once in a lifetime, and the party is really important. It was a whole blurb about this other. Do you think I care two fucks about this other party? Like, what are you saying to me?
And the fact that you're so passionate about it speaks to how you felt about this young lady.
For sure, I love her. I do love her.
Which is why the betrayal was, because the rest of us was like, dude, this some small ass shit that you getting upset about.
Y'all was real.
But for you, because you were keeping your tally marks, and even maybe had you communicated her when you got to tally mark number 6, that you were getting frustrated with her not being available, that maybe something could have been salvaged.
I don't know. Because I feel like you gave me a pattern of behavior.
Yeah, because even before you started your tallies, this was happening.
Yes.
And once it got to the point where you like, well, damn.
Because then at that point now I'm recalling 1, 2, you know,
right.
Because we gone. Like, we holding like on February 8th at 3:36.
Right.
Just want to bring up, you had made a left, and then you used your right foot, and then you was wearing the red shirt, and then we there. And so all of them at that point, literally, it's like I was flooded. When she told me about the other party, and she couldn't come to my party in March, and you couldn't come for 3 months later, you telling me you can't come to my party, the party ain't even here yet? It ain't like our party on the same day. A party that got canceled. That was months down the line. You can't make that make. So at that point, I felt every single one.
Okay, so why did you get to tally mark number 6? Because there have been several betrayals. Why did you get to tally? And at this point, we were beyond tally mark number 6.
Yeah, I was in. We was in there. I was double-handed at that point. I had a whole bunch of fingers to count.
So why did you allow it to get to tally mark number 12?
Because I loved her. And I am I care about my relationships. I want them. Like, they matter. She mattered to me. Like, I wanted to watch her succeed at work. She had just got a really great promotion, and I was super proud. And I wanted to come see her and watch her travel and watch her do things. And she was really coming into like this really good sense of self. Like, it was just a lot of components to her that are
That you
phenomenal.
value.
Yeah, like,
So
I don't pick my friends lightly.
you valued and loved her enough to allow her to silently betray you.
Yes. Listen though.
Come see me at CJL Counseling and Associates, y'all.
That's why I hired her, y'all. She good. She good. That girl good. For sure. I mean,
But you're not the only one.
for sure.
Us as women, we do that all the time. Oh,
Yep.
it's okay. It's okay. I am in the process now of teaching my daughter when somebody hurts her, even if they do apologize, do not comfort their apology by saying it's okay. It's not okay. They hurt you.
Yeah.
If anything, you can thank them for their apology, but do not tell them that it's okay. Because then it's like, okay, well, as long as I apologize, she'll
sorry.
forgive me.
Yeah. Yeah. But they still go back to, well, we'll get there. When do you walk away?
Exactly.
So I could, even if I confront, I still feel, as much as for sure, I could have held more conversation. I will finally
Yes,
admit
ma'am.
that. I have never, y'all understand, my birthday was in March. I ain't spoke to this woman since January. Yep, it was January.
It was.
So it's been almost 6 months, and I have held my position for 6 months until today, for sure. I could have held conversations even before January. I still, though, think we define friendship differently, and that I question if the relationship could go forward.
Okay. That's fair.
I do. I don't think, I, I fundamentally think there was an inherent difference, and no matter how much I loved her, it was time to let go. I think I still come to that same conclusion. So fairly, we're going to actually, that's the steps.
Okay.
What you said, first one, clarify kind of the position, what's happening. That thing, you just nicely called my ass on real fast. In front of
Love you,
everybody.
boo.
On the whole live watch Facebook scenario, on the podcast apps. Called me quick. Jeez. But y'all, I hired her, so come see her.
Yep, everybody can get it.
So yeah, number one, you clarify. You clarify, like really state your case. You gotta talk about it. That thing I didn't do. Hey, Kanice, you suck. Well, anyway, so we're gonna clarify. We're gonna clarify the position. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna really delve into kind of what happened. We're gonna say some facts. Really, again, those I statements are always important.
Yeah.
We are never talking about what you did. So I'm not gonna go, you haven't been there for me, but more so, I have needed you to be present in certain things. And you were not there. So versus attacking, going, why weren't you there for me? Only speaking kind of what you feel.
Yeah,
Like,
I missed you. I needed you. I really wanted you there.
I had a very, visceral response to your presence not being there. It created a lot of anger, frustration. Like, what I feel. Not, do you know you upset me and you hurt me and you weren't there for me? Like,
Yeah.
don't do that, the girl thing you do. you gotta like kind of really accept it, and then give them room actually to speak and state their position as well. Kind of what's happening for them, and it's not about even as I use the word excuse, is more so they're all perceptions are reality.
Yeah.
And it's a valid. What's happening from your lens and my lens, all the lenses matter, and all of them like have a place. And so we have have to accept that as reality and not saying that it discounts or discredit what we feel.
Right.
And they can completely validate and understand what you feel. You're not looking for them to agree, but at least to understand and validate their reality as well. Like both of us get to have a valid position. And from there, we can move on to processing
Okay.
how you feel. So this is kind of, in a sense, we talked last week a little bit about this idea of like atonement. So we're gonna bring it all out, ask all the questions.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost the same process, and now we get into attunement. But what do we feel about a thing? Like, what matters to me, kind of defining that friendship. Funny little scenario we got going on here. Just really keep bringing it up. So here we still talking about the idea of what do I feel, what do I want to do with these feelings, kind of.
How do I unpack all of this?
How do I, right.
Not how do we? Because at this point, this is we in full communication at this point. So this is what am I going to do from my end, and what are you going to do from yours?
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. Like maybe we do need to define our friendship. What are the things? So now we're not just processing feelings, but kind of that. What do you need from me? Like what are your expectations of me? One of my all-time favorite books is The Four Agreements.
Okay.
One of the things is to not have expectations, like to never have expectations of like ever.
That's deep.
And so I really work hard to not expect things of people without me telling you what I expect of you.
That part.
So it's hard for me, and I definitely, I can for sure, like be accountable and go, I didn't do that for here. Like I think, I expected. I expected her to know after I was petty. And
So when you were passive aggressive.
right.
Okay.
When I did that, you supposed to then know to fix it. Duh.
Nah.
Again, you therapists not taking their advice, but we can give you. I got some good stuff in my brain. But so we look at what does that friendship mean, exactly like you said, defining it, kind of looking at it, and then we have to look at can we then be friends? Maybe some of the things that you bring up, I don't think I can meet that.
I can't do that. Yeah, that's too much for me.
That's you like to talk. You always, I want to share something with you. You directly telling me you got some people you got to confide in too. You don't know how to hold no secret, and sometimes when you really down, you get to you drinking. You get to running your mouth, and you can't guarantee me you won't tell my secrets. That's real. I respect it. I get it. Can we be friends if that's the case? Or you stuck with my man? Would you still be friends?
Actually, I walked away from a chick because she was still communicating with my ex. And it wasn't necessarily because they were in communications. It was because I could not talk to her about how I felt that she was talking to him more than she was talking to me. So once I saw that I can't even come to you to tell you how I'm feeling about this, and even in the fact, like I really wanted to tell her, like, dude, I miss you. And I couldn't even get that far because she got the popping off and got the grabbing air and the neck got the going, and then I got to being called out my name. Listen, we don't have to do this at all. So if I can walk away from you because you talking to an ex, sleep with my man and see what happened to you.
I'm trying. So I know a girl who cheated. So we were friends. She cheated with an ex. I'm still cool with her.
Wait, he was your ex at your time?
Him and I were together.
Oh.
And she cheated with him.
And you still cool with her?
I am. We not buddies. We don't go nowhere together. Like we ain't. I don't call her ever. Like you couldn't find
But
pull
if
my
you
phone
saw her
ready.
out in the
But
street,
if
you
I
would
saw
speak.
her, I'm a hugger. We cool. We were cool before then.
Do you
Like,
hug her with two hands around her neck?
no, so this is what I think.
Okay.
I think she had a lot of shit going on that belonged to her. Again, I don't think it was about me. And knowing her, I allowed me and her to process it and talk about it. And I don't trust her.
Absolutely.
And I would never allow her in a close enough proximity to anything. But I have no animosity towards her. I we cool on Facebook. I think we have randomly checked in and went, hey, how are you? Like, what's going on? Kind of a quicker update. Um, in some small ways, I miss her because we was cool. But betrayal, and so I've now the next step after we process and do all these things and we figuring out is forgiveness. I forgave her, and I decided again when thinking about solutions, I went into can I be her friend or not? The answer is no, I can't be her friend,
Okay.
but she had some shit happening that belonged purely to her, and she made choices that she has to live with. They're not for me to judge her about. Um, her decisions cost us. And I guess that was a choice that whether she knowingly made or not, she made. Um, but we're cool. Like, yeah, I can say
That's
we're cool.
probably the
I'm
only
also cool
time.
with him too, though.
Now, I can still be cool with the dude, but not cool with the chick. And
Really?
that, yes, that would be the only time that I would fight a chick over my man, is if we were friends first.
Yeah.
If I know you and you do this, but like if I don't know you, then I'm
Yeah.
I'm just walking away from both of y'all. But if I know you, I'm whooping your ass. I'm not saying nothing to him. That's done. But I'm whooping your ass. Because
Yeah,
that's, for me, that's the ultimate form
betrayal.
of betrayal.
A
Yeah,
betrayal.
yeah. Because once I let you in, there's not a lot of people that I let in. And once I let you in, I care for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is how you show me that you care for me back? No, ma'am. Not at all.
Yeah. I think I have been called naive, I think, more times than I can count. Because I think I'm super forgiving. But I also I don't hold a lot. Um, the young lady we talked about, I love her. Like, y'all, I have no anger, like zero. I had just made a decision that this is all that could be. I miss her. I think about her all the time. Like, I be wanting to ask y'all what's going on with her. I be wanting to, but
So, what I'm hearing now is that a key component to getting over betrayal is the word just left me. It just escaped as I was getting ready to say it. A key component to getting over betrayal is
forgiveness,
um,
accountability, sincerity, desire. Those are some things that pop up.
we're going to keep going. And then if it comes back to me, I'm going to write it down. That's why I got my pencil and paper right here. It left me just that quick.
Don't you hate when that happens? Yeah, well, for sure. Like, I mean, we're cool. Like, I guess, call it naive.
Closure. Closure. A key component of getting over betrayal is closure.
Yeah, I can see that. Because we got to process it. And if we process it, we then make decisions. And that decision becomes final. A final thing is closed, is ends.
Okay, so how do you get over it without closure?
We don't. I think in female relationships, I think it sits. It's a piece of you that becomes slightly. If I'm super honest, in every friendship, I will still. There's always like the devil and the angel on your back. Like, you think she gonna do this? That thing will creep up. What likely overtakes because how you become my friend is the angel. It's like, the hell wrong with you? No, she ain't gonna do that to you. But I think when betrayal happens, as young as it may happen, you've now created the little devil that questions you. You think she gonna keep the secret? Can you really tell her? It happens. It's a really quick thought that pops up, and then you go, no, we good. She my friend. She ain't gonna do that. I think that's there. I think that's a permanent, like a permanent like scar that exists.
So if it's just sitting, is it just sitting because you really don't want the friendship to end?
No, like if we take a think of like birthmarks, like you see, or scars, like it's healed, it's good. You can just like, oh, I remember, like I got some stitch marks. Like I remember when I put my hand through that glass when I was washing dishes
Yeah.
and it broke. Like I don't feel nothing. I'm good. I just remember that it happened, and I can see it. Like it left a mark. I have these little 5 lines here that are permanent. We're not affected. It's not hurting. We don't need to hash it. I don't have to think about it. Nothing pops up for me when I look at my little hand with the little stitch mark on it. Nothing. I just know it happened. So I think it can leave a mark, and we move forward just fine. However, I am cautious about really, really hot water and putting my hand in the glass in hot water, because it can break, it can shatter. So I'm aware of it. I still wash dishes in hot water. I still put my hand. I just know now there is this little.
Be careful.
Just to be careful, but to proceed, like you don't stop. And I kind of think that's what happens with betrayal. You can heal. It's just a mark. You see it. No feelings about it. You can move on. You can do the exact same things. You can go full head into a relationship. Instead of taking 5 steps to go head in, maybe you take 5.5, 5.25 steps. Like you might head in, but so I think it happens. It's like the most unnoticeable of, I think, a piece of a thing exists. Is what I think happens. I could be wrong, but that's what I think.
Because I'm thinking about that person that just can't let it go. And they're to the point where they can't let it go so much that it spills over into other relationships. And now we're at the point where I just don't fuck with females, period.
Yeah, so this is, to me, I think you just didn't process it.
Okay. So how does she process it?
All of the facts. What happened? Was I a good friend? Because at this point, then you can begin to see this ain't my stuff. Don't make it your shit if it ain't.
What if it is? Because
it
can't all the time. It can't be everybody else.
That's a whole nother. Now we ain't in betrayal no more.
Okay.
You now have moved into your personal stuff, your self work that we all have to do. Y'all heard me go, I'm petty today. Like I got my moments. So we all have stuff. So if we have left, so if there was a betrayal, and you saying you can't get over that betrayal, then now what's your stuff? If you refuse to process, we go back into what I think we talked about, probably a theme in every week. There has to be a piece of reflection. I think in every single week we have talked about, there has to be a self-reflection and this idea of some level of accountability. What's mine? What's not? What's not mine, what I can't control, what doesn't belong to me, it does not belong to me. Cool, but what does? What do I want to do with it? Like, what's the role I want to take? Like, where am I in this thing? And in that thing is where I'm going to do some work, or not. And if I'm not, well, possibly some of the same stuff is going to keep coming my way.
Yeah, and not all the time when you talk to somebody is it going to be easy. This is a confrontation that might have to happen. And you can, like lots of us, we're so afraid of confrontations. I don't do confrontations. But how do you resolve conflict? There's a way to do things. And just like I said, I tried to confront that young lady. And she was so defensive that she couldn't hear anything that I had to say. To this day, she probably thinks that we're not friends because she was talking to my ex. And it had nothing to do with that was the spark that lit the fire, but that wasn't
Yeah.
the oxygen that fueled it. The oxygen that fueled it was that I can't talk to you.
Yeah.
So when something is going on with me, I can't bring that to you so that we can discuss it and get through it. That's why we're not talking. And then you want to call me out my name? That added to it. But we have to be able to be comfortable with resolving conflict. And not all the time will you get closure.
Yeah, for sure. And that's in a million ways, from betrayal to death to
Mm-hmm.
um, grief to loss to
Mm-hmm.
1 million things that
Mm-hmm.
definitely don't have an aspect of closure. In a direct sense, I do think in more of a spiritual kind of cognitive way we can. How
Yeah.
much reflection
Yeah.
that we allow ourselves to do allows how we move through.
Mm-hmm. And stop allowing people to do things to you that you don't like.
I think that was for me.
That's for everybody. But that's why we're getting to the point of betrayal, is because we keep ignoring things. No, when it happened and you didn't like it, speak on it.
Yeah.
Speak on it. Don't wait till you get to a point where now the straw has just broken this camel's back. Speak on it when it first happened.
I agree. I don't regret not speaking about it. I just know I should have. And I'm aware to just do better. And again, I think that's the
Yeah.
kind of the reflective piece. And I'll probably more, because it's me, do more reflection on it. But for sure, in the relationships that I have, because yeah, I will be sure to make sure I'm speaking to even the small things. And it doesn't have to be conflictual.
Yeah.
It don't have to even be petty. It just, again, that thing, like,
Kanisha, your punk ass is late again today. And I was, y'all. So
and I was gonna tell her, like, boo, but,
I was coming though.
and I was gonna just say, like, should we move it to like 7:30? Like, you want 7:30 as our start time? Because I don't want you to be late no more. I'll accommodate. Friendship, I'm gonna accommodate and move it back, because we got a whole staff meeting tonight still. But, yeah, just kind of wrapping us up to don't be like me. Is today's lesson. Don't do that. Clarify the situation. Accept and work through feelings. Process it. Deal with the relationship. Determine what you want to do next. Forgive and go forward.
Yeah.
It's betrayal. Well,
Yeah. This
I
was
did
a
not-
good one.
girl, for you, I did not come on here thinking I was about to be sitting here owning some stuff.
You was
I was ready, girl.
You was on the couch.
Yeah, but I was ready to win this one. I was in it. Anyway, so next week, we going to go to sex. We talking orgasm frustration.
Something I totally do not understand, so I may just be a complete student next week.
Nope, you got this. You understand, or like you said, you in trauma, you good.
When it's related to trauma, but if ain't nothing ever happened to your yoni, I don't know why you can't pop one off. I don't get it.
There's a lot of reasons.
Okay.
It's a lot of reasons. So we gonna move
We
into
gonna
sex.
learn together.
We gonna move into orgasm and what's like hindering some good ones. Because they important.
They are.
The self-care,
They are essential.
They are an essential service. For sure. So anyway, it's been cool. 7 o'clock next week. You want 7:15?
Okay.
Okay, y'all.
I'ma still shoot for 7 though.
Our podcast from now on starts at 7:15.
Okay.
On Thursdays for Kenise. Okay. All right.
I won't be late.
All right, guys. It's been good.
Bye.
Y'all get to hold me accountable next week. See you later.